Episode Insight. On this episode, Pontiano Kaiche, Zambian legend, civil engineer. Yep, that's what he studied. But most people know him as an artist, folklore expert, and a man who brings joy on and off stage. The big homie Chilu Lemba locked down a chat with him in Lusaka. I don't know if I like this because it feels like he's going for my job. But I gotta admit, he did a good job. But guys, let me know what you think.
Okay, so rolling on the wide.
What you've just said, you remember the late Joe Chiwangu?
Yes, I do.
And Joe Chiwangu and I sometimes would be in studio till 4 a.m. and we'd have random conversations. And I remember one time we were debating the origin of Kawimbe.
Yeah,
and he was saying his version was it was something to do with Washmine. And what do you have a story regarding?
Yeah, actually, because he was a younger person, but its origins are way before the Washmine. It's in the village you have the concerts. And you have these old men doing the mabanjos during the what we call the sundowning.
Okay.
Yeah, and he would at one point maybe gets choked. And then he goes, and then the people say, Kawimbe. Yeah.
So for anyone watching this, if you don't have context in terms of Zambia, Kola is to cough, and then Wimbe is like sing. So the crowd is instructing the person singing, cough and sing and entertain us.
So clear your throat.
Yeah. But Pontiano, I was just saying earlier on how, in my mind, for decades, if there's a barometer of a person who is a great storyteller, great communicator, and somebody who brings joy to spaces. I mean, every time your name is mentioned in a conversation far from where you are, it's always good vibes. Like I was telling you earlier on today, breakfast with Danny Chanda, your name comes up, he's like, he mentions me in a song. And then he even has a backstory as to why there was a meeting or something, and you were told to wait for Danny to arrive before the meeting begins. And then when he arrived, then you had me wait for Danny, and you had also. So anyway, long story short is everywhere it seems you bring joy. When did you find that was a superpower that you had?
I should say that I'm a musician. And I did a bit of drama and some comedy and things. So I'm an artist, and I was told by my parents, my grandparents, that just when I was a toddler, I would hum to some music or not and things like that, or maybe I would pick up sticks and start hitting whatever was in my way as drums and things like that. It was more like an instinct. I was born an artist. So later on, I started getting involved in, when I started primary school. Started getting involved in everything that had to do with art, except drawing.
Okay.
But if it was, acting, singing, dancing, all that kind of thing. So I began to feel that that was my calling. And primary school, I was playing a banjo in the school, in the school band, if you may call it like that. Then when I went to secondary school, I even formed the first pop band at school. Yes, when I was in Form 4, that's grade 11. And when I went to national service, after the 6 months military training, what followed was agricultural activities, farming activities. But I opted for a dance drama group.
So was that when you Because that was at Zanase.
No,
it was before.
No, that was just.
Because I'm hearing national service, I'm hearing acting, so that's why I'm.
Yeah, because there was the compulsory national service after secondary.
From 5.
Yeah, so I went to Katete military camp, and then I finished. I entered college. At college, I was in the ZIT. It was called ZIT, Zambia Institute of Technology.
Okay.
And I was in the drama group. And then the University of Zambia introduced the students on that campus, which they called the University of Zambia Ndola campus at Kitwe.
Oh.
Yeah, because the infrastructure, there was a lot of room so there were 2 institutions, the University of Zambia Ndola campus and there's a ZIT campus. And then it so happened that I was, I think I was the only one who was allowed to act, to belong to the drama group of UNZA, Ndola campus, UNZA Ndo, they called it. Yeah, probably because they found that I was versatile.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and So, again, on the music side, I had my guitar, and I formed a group called. There were 3 girls, and I was the only guy, and we depicted the Boney M.
Oh,
yeah, and we always wore white,
including the repertoire, or you were doing different kind of
different kind
genres,
of,
different,
genres,
but the setup was
and it was Pontiano, Patricia, Joyce, and Jude. So it was Pippi and JJ.
Oh,
yeah.
Peanut butter and jam. No, sorry.
No, it's fine. And so now the girls, their courses were shorter, secretarial. So
what were you studying at the time?
I was studying civil engineering.
Yes.
Yeah. So the time was shorter, so we would lose Jude, and then we find another Joyce, and then we couldn't find a J. Then I started thinking that this band, it's like it's migratory. So I called it migration.
Oh.
Yes.
Wow.
And until the time that I completed my studies. Then
what year was that, kind of like ballpark? 1983. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That was the day I finished my studies. I went to ZIT in 1979. Yeah, 79. Because that's the year we graduated from national service. In April, then October, I was at ZIT. And then 1983, that's when I was graduating. And then, luckily, at that time, companies, corporations would come to the college Yes. And I was picked by ZCCM to join them. And so I was sent to Mufulira Division. And then Mufulira Division, in Mufulira, that's where there was that greatest folk musician, Teddy Chilambe.
Yes.
And my brother was working in the same division. And when I got to Mufulira, he went to tell him that, my younger brother is here. He plays guitar, he sings. And it didn't take time before Teddy asked me to join him, and then we were together for quite some time.
So was he, because of the way you described him, do you consider him like a mentor?
In a way, sorts? Yes. He was a great mentor to me, and apparently I'm gifted with composing songs. Yes. So some of the songs that released were actually my compositions.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but unfortunately, when the record will be released, it will be Teddy Chilambe. I think it's the time before we knew that actually the composer's name should be on the record.
Yes.
So then the company decided to send me to the UK for career development. And whilst I was there, during the PP and JJ migration era, we wrote our own songs in English, love songs and things like that. And one of the other inspirations that I had was Don Williams.
Oh, yes.
And a couple of other country and Western musicians. So whilst I was in the UK, I lived in Ashford, Kent. And there was a band, white boys only. And they called it Winston and the Churchills.
Oh.
Yes. And so the guy that played bass, Brian, was my friend, because he used to come. I was playing just across the road from where we lived. There was a pub, and I would play sometimes, maybe once in a month. And so when he's out
your own
there,
compositions, or at the time, or covers at the time?
Yeah, covers.
Okay.
Yeah, mostly covers, because for some reason I thought they may not like African music. But then Brian's father turned 50, and the band was playing. So he told his father, "I've got a colleague who plays, so he can come in as the curtain raiser." And it was a huge. There were a lot of people, and so I started with covers, and one courageous man stood up and asked me if I was African.
And one courageous man said, Kawimbe. In the English accent, Kawimbe. Okay, sorry.
Kawimbe,
Kawimbe.
Yeah. So he asked me if I was African, and I said, yes, I'm African. And he says, but why are you singing? We have records in our homes for such songs. And then I sang one of my African compositions, the one that starts with the baby crying.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. And when I finished singing that song, it was a standing ovation.
Wow.
That was my turning point.
Wow.
And I said, sorry to say, to hell. With, yes.
Yeah.
So after all, music is universal. Yeah. And that's how I now, concentrated on singing our own music. And then I discovered that the stories that I told were touching people's lives. Somehow, this song will be connected with how someone has raised or what experience they've had in their lives, and, that kind of thing. And then I said, this is rich. And what even reinforced that was the time I had started singing now, when I came back, the time I released my first album. And I had plans. I planned to travel to the US, and it was self-funded.
Okay.
Because I wanted to go and study how they do their music, so I could come and, probably spread the information and see how we can enhance.
And those days, like from the US, who are your kind of musical heroes that? Because usually, people talk about maybe doing a pilgrimage musically.
Yeah.
Have a magnet. Some person.
John Denver. John Denver. Yes.
Yeah.
And I lived in, or rather, I stayed in Long Island, in a town called Westbury.
Okay.
And one evening, I was strolling I took a stroll to the shopping mall, and then I saw a poster, Luther Vandross at the Garden City Hotel. And I said, wow. Sometimes I tell people that, the way I felt, now I understand how people feel when they meet me.
Oh, yes.
I said, I have to come to this show. And really, am I going to meet this guy? And
wow.
I had the money. I paid. And I was on stage, and I said, God, is this real?
Teaching yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then the Indiana State University contacted the Zambian embassy in Washington if there was any Zambian musician whom the Zambian government would sponsor to go and host a workshop on African music. And then the embassy had heard about my trip, so they took advantage of that. And but then the bureaucracy delayed my trip. So when I got to the university, the lecturer was in charge. He said, "You are late. We found somebody else. They found an Indian man."
Oh.
Yeah. And then I explained what was the whole thing about. That's when he said, we would like to capture music from all over the world, so that the boys and girls who are growing up are exposed to something outside.
Yes.
And so he said, then asked him what the Indian guy was saying. He said, Indian music. And we talked a lot, so deeply, and said, actually, you don't need to worry about, singing in English, because you express yourself better.
Yes.
In your own language.
Yes.
Yeah. And I said, I think that was the second time, second to the guy in the UK.
So what I find fascinating, and I want to get your take on this, but before you do that, to your point, which before I do that, the power of music where you don't even understand what's being said. The first time that I experienced it in a very powerful way, was with the late Michael Kumwenda, Burning Youth.
Yes.
Because he used to sing in
Tumbuka. Yes.
Tumbuka, yes. and Tumbuka and Nyanja, they're different. Tumbuka is Nyanja is what we use in
and
town.
It's on the surface.
Yes.
It's light.
So March of 1996, I'm at Mike's Car Wash with the late Rhumba and Burning Youth were on the stage.
Performing, yes.
just been paid my salary. Pontiano, that time I was getting paid 100 pin. 100 pin isn't much if you think it was a lot of money. No.
Yeah.
And so I'm watching Michael sing on stage.
Yes.
I was so moved by what he was singing. The heart and the soul, I didn't understand, but I was so compelled that I walked onto that stage and gave, I think, half my salary. I put it on stage.
Wow.
And then there was the current band, was it Brian? There was another band member. I've forgotten who.
Brian Chilala.
No, not Brian Chilala, but this was a member of Burning Youth. I've just forgotten the name of the band member.
It must have been Jack.
Could have been Jack.
Yeah, Jack
could have been Jack or Alan, one of the two.
Yeah.
As soon as I put that, as I'm walking away, then I heard him acknowledge Bongo, which is the name that I used to go back then. So I'm like, this guy didn't even know me. But that was the time that I think I to your point, where I saw it be powerfully, the two times that I know people who share stories and share music during their set in a way that's so engaging. You.
Yes.
The other time I've seen it happen is the late Johnny Clegg.
Oh yeah.
But when did you unlock that? When you realized that, because some people will play, thank you, applause, next song, applause. But yours is like usually a journey of sorts. You bring people in.
Yeah. When did I realize that? I think it just flowed. With the background of comedy, there'll be a lot of funny stories I'll tell, and apparently Connie Masiro from South Africa, at the time that she came to Zambia as the guest artist, at the time Kabanana was being launched. Yes. I was the master of ceremonies, and along the way, I threw in a joke here and there, and she was very impressed. At the end of the show, she demanded that she sees me, and then she said, "Why don't you come to South Africa and make money?" And then I said, why not? And then she gave me the manager's number. And I called once, he picked it up, and next time I called, I think he just said that guy can just step back in that. But also, my kind of jokes, they're a little bit witty.
Yes, you need to be a thinker, or yes,
and spontaneous.
Yes.
At the wedding, I can't remember whose wedding it was. I was again master of ceremonies, Mr. Manakatwe, the late, the father to Mupanga.
John.
Yeah, John Manakatwe.
Yes, John Manakatwe.
They were together with his son Mupanga.
Yes.
As guests at the wedding. So when we were going to, when I was asking them to go and eat, Mupanga came to me and said, "Man, you are so spontaneous. You know, I haven't seen. I've been to weddings and these guys, they just repeat, jokes and maybe what the other guy said. You find another guy saying it at another function and things like that. Yeah, and so I find that when you talk to people, you throw in a joke, you throw in a story, and they respond. Then you find that I can actually do a set of 4 hours non-stop. Because it's interesting.
Yes,
it's exciting.
Yes.
Yeah,
there's an exchange. There's so what I found and what you're saying there is that it's a rare ability to, within a group setting like emceeing a wedding,
yes,
to be able to make it just like it's a family, like you are one with the audience.
Absolutely.
And whatever they feed you, you can feed back with wit and humor.
Yes.
So that the whole thing is an experience, it's a vibe. It's not like you're doing it off a playbook.
Yeah, it's so boring and dry. You just read things out and people, you can go and eat, you can go do and this and I find that it's like eating a meat pie without the juice inside, the gravy inside, the kind we used to eat at we used to eat at the mines when we, the mine mess. They had the best meat pies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I haven't seen such in a long time.
You're making me hungry. You see, I'm licking my lips. You see what he's doing.
Yeah,
but this must also be a lesson for you guys who MC.
Yeah.
Because now there's this trend, and I know I laughed about it on a different podcast, where the MCing these days is if you can dance.
Oh yeah.
So you MC a bit, then you know what I mean,
and then you ask for money.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's. I don't do that.
Yeah, no.
I'll dance because I'm performing as a song, because I also do that. Like Dr. Fundanga one time said that he said I was a lucky person because I've got it's a 2-in-1 package in a way that some people or even organizations, they'll hire me because they know I can do MC and I can also sing.
Yes,
so they have one package.
So one package, yes.
So I feel it's a blessing. It's a blessing. It's God-given, and I praise God for that. Yeah.
I'm going to tell a story because you said you will explain why that happened. And for you guys who are watching, like, subscribe, do the right thing. And we only have Mr. Kaiche for a limited time, So he sent us his schedule, and we are within that 30 minutes of the schedule before he goes to perform. But I was saying to you that it's almost 30 years ago. I was going to Joburg. This was my early days there.
Yes.
And we happened to be on the same flight.
Yeah.
And during that flight, I was saying you changed my thinking because I was asking you about your music, and you were telling me about your next release, and you said, no, it should be ready in 6 months. Now, that for me, who at the time was, early 20s, was completely mind-blowing, because if we always used to be like, the next release is out 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
3 weeks. It never used to be out, but it was always up and up in our heads.
Vis-a-vis, as they say.
Yes, vis-a-vis. And the beauty of process, the beauty of long-term thinking wasn't us. Preparedness, yes. Yeah. So that has stayed with me for that long. And when I brought it up today, you said you'd explain why.
Yeah. Like I said, when I was in the UK, I was sent there to work, but I did not fall short of exploring on how they do their music business. And one of the things I did was I used to watch artists perform on TV. And so one day I found the address and wrote a letter to the TV station that I can do that. In my mind, I was even saying I can do better than some of those guys. And then they wrote back to me and said I could not appear on television because I was not a member of the music union Equity.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Whereas here, you can just jump on stage and do whatever, and unscripted and rehearsed, and So I learned something from that they organized. And then would see adverts of an album that's on its way, or a single that's on its way. They'll say, cover day is such and such. And they'll put a date to that. And on that date, rest assured, a day before, or even 6 hours before, you go in the shop, you won't find it. But on the day the day itself, get in there and you find lots and lots of copies. I learned from that.
Wow.
Then when I went to the US, again, there's a lady, Sugar Shack Disco.
Matal, yes. Super, yes.
Yeah. So when I was traveling to
Matty Cox.
Yeah. So I told you it was self-sponsored. And then he said to me, "There's I have my sister in New York."
Oh yes.
Yes. Mbumai. When you get there, this is a phone number. She lives in New York.
Yes.
Blah blah blah. And when I got to New York, about a month later, I called her, and then we got together, and then she introduced me to a record label called Putumayo.
Oh.
Yes, and Putumayo, they do what they call world music. They collect music from everywhere. And then the husband, Mr. Smith, was a photojournalist. I actually met him here in Zambia. At the time he traveled, I think they traveled together, and then I was in Zam at the time. So he came to our offices and I met him there. So when I got to New York.
At the time it was Zoom.
It was Zoom then.
At the time,
Zambia Union of Musicians. Yes. Yeah. I was the treasurer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So was that Webster Malama's era, or?
That was Webster Malama's era. No, in fact, they had
because there was the Herman the Germans era.
Yes. Then the Webster Malama. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the Webster Malama. It's the time I released the Vanamlenge.
Yes. Okay.
And actually, I was in the US then.
Oh.
Yeah, because it featured in the awards twice.
Wow.
Yeah, the first time, because sorry.
I'm the cause of your segue. Sorry.
So the Ngoma Awards, when the Ngoma Awards started, I just released my first album.
They started in 1997.
Oh. 1997.
Oh yes, okay.
Yeah. Okay, the Ngoma Awards, the name Ngoma was was 1979. I mean 1999.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, before that it was called the National Awards and whatever.
Okay.
So the inaugural awards ceremony, my album Kachete, I won as the best male performer.
Yes.
Then the following year, I released Vanamlenga, the album. Yes. And again, it was nominated, but then it was Vamumbaka Pumpat National Arts Council.
Yes.
And they resolved that those who won the previous year cannot win. They should give chance. Yes. Should give chance to others. And so
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and so St. Michael won that.
Okay.
And then I went to the US. And then just towards the time that the Ngoma Awards were coming in, Webster contacted the embassy to inform me that my album had again been nominated.
Oh, wow.
So I needed to come back.
Oh.
So I traveled back and I won. It won the best vocal recording.
Wow.
Because and Wanamulenga is now 27 years old.
I've got so many things to say. You've given us too little time. So now we are segueing back to your train of thought so that we don't lose it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
What were you saying before that? Or, or can we move on?
Yeah, I think I can't even remember either. It's, I think,
Mr. Director,
it's so
are you going to remind us, or can we have permission to move on?
It's so intertwined in the same conversation. I think it will come back at one point.
This is my other thing. You've just said 27 years.
Yes.
You mentioned Saint Michael. Well, now
Michael Zulu.
Back then, you were Saint Michael. Yeah. There was the era of different leadership people, National Arts Council.
Yes.
There've been different eras of musicians during that time, from the rise more of Mondo music to all these eras which you've witnessed.
Yeah.
And through that consistently, you've been making still a living from your passion, even though we know that you also have your
you're right. The music has actually looked after me much more than
so that being the case, what are your views? I mean, your when it comes to the conversation of the direction of Zambian music and so on, I think it would be wrong of us to leave this conversation without getting your perspective of where you think it's heading, what could be improved, because there are a lot of young people who watch this particular channel.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to see if you can bless us with your thoughts, whether positive or negative, I don't know, but just like what your feelings.
Yeah. Well, I have a lot to say about it. For some reason, I feel that Zambian, or maybe Zambians in general, love to copy. So the music hasn't been left out. What I mean by that is and with the advent, with the coming on of technology, the advancement of technology has even worsened things. But hasten to say that it's not all lost, because I'll give an example of one time I was performing at the Garden Court Hotel. And when after I'd finished, I sat by the reception. A young boy like this, that's very young, I think about 6 or 7 years old, with his 2 siblings, walked over to me and said, "How are you, Uncle?" I said, "We are fans, we are great fans of your music." I said, "What?" And then they walked away, and then they were received by their parents, the father and mother. And then I said, it's the parents actually who are
the
fans. Yeah. But it's possible that they may have been together when I was on TV. Then they must have said, that's the man we watched there. And then at a wedding, again at the same place, a girl of about 12 years old comes to me and says, I'm a fan of your music. I said, so that gives me hope that if those little kids, the girl and the boys who are in this era and they love my music, then we have hope that they will continue loving this kind of music.
Yes.
And then this man tells me he's dropping off his daughter at Banana Secondary School. And he's playing my music throughout. And the girl tells the father, "Dad, that's boring." And the father ignores. And then for some reason, with God's divine providence, the owners of Banani Secondary School invite me to perform at one of the, I think it was a sports day. Now in the evening when they are now, just relaxing, I was performing. And when they closed, this man goes to pick up his daughter. And she tells me, "Dad, can you play that music again?" Because now she could connect.
She could connect, yes.
Yeah, so it's, what I would say is, it's a pity that the younger generations get swayed by what's happening elsewhere without sitting down to, think about what is my identity. I like what's going on now, and I think I saw it on TikTok. A group of South African girls, they were wearing wigs with this Western hair, and then they started singing, and they were saying, "No more." Yes. Okay. And they took off their wigs and they had all these braids. Others now started, coming into Afro. And you've seen the proliferation of the Afro hair amongst our girls. So I believe that there will come a time when they'll begin to re-embrace, the culture and the identity. It's happening. It's a renaissance, and but except that the younger musicians, what I've observed is they go into music to compete, because your maps is doing so well. Then they're going, I can do better, and they're going there. Your maps is your maps.
Yes.
And during the time of JK's, JK was more prominent than his friends.
Yes.
Yeah. So if once they begin to realign themselves with culture, tradition, and identity, I think it will come back to what we have as our own. Because Zambians are you won't believe this, they are the only musicians, Zambian musicians, they are the only musicians who play music from anywhere in the world. You never hear South Africans playing Kalindura.
Yeah.
Zimbabweans playing Kalindura. Every other person. Because we believe, and I strongly believe, we are so highly talented, and which has too talented that we now go into other people's, music. If you listen to the kind of music now which these boys and girls are producing, it's either South African, or West African, But it's not too late. It's not too late, and once they begin to seek advice from those that have been there before, I think things will change. I've had a couple of young musicians coming to me. They want to redo a remix of some of my songs.
Yes.
Vanamlenga is one.
I was going to say,
So to answer your question, they should not just jump in the studio. There's no research, prior to what they want to do. They should read. They should know about how other musicians outside there do. I'm proud to say, and I brag about it, because people have told me that actually my album Dismantled, my era, the time I came in, Dismantled Rhumba.
Music. Oh yes, because Rhumba at that time was...
At that time it was the in thing. So they can do the same. So copying foreign stuff, doesn't help us in any way.
And the thing is, like, in terms of the stuff like AI is easy in terms of learning the current pop hits and so on, and emulating it. So you'll see somebody send you a song saying this is the new Rihanna or whatever, but it's not Rihanna. Or this is the new R. Kelly and so on, because AI is learning those patterns. But we are going to be the last frontier. I mean, when is AI going to come for Vanamlenga? You know what I mean? So I think I think we are, if we keep exploring that, our uniqueness and our sounds from, which haven't been explored, and seeing how we can push those to the surface. We can do something.
There have been a lot of positives said about our music. Like I said, I was also lucky enough to be featured on one of the radio stations in New York, WLIB, and mostly the listenership is in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes.
You know, amongst the concentration of African, you know, people. And it played. They loved the song, but they all said it's too long.
Oh,
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And I had to explain that you can't play a 3-minute song in Zambia.
Yeah,
And
where is the place?
yeah, because there's a point where you say, I take. Yes.
No,
Yeah.
my last question to you. I've got a question, then I'll allow you to just share whatever's on your heart. But among the new crop of musicians, even if it's from whatever era, who might find a place on your playlist? Zambian.
I like the way Your Maps does his music, does his arrangements, does his...
Yes. He's very talented.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right about the arrangements.
He connects with people. And, he'll talk about something that is factual. People, as I was growing up, people were not... they say that, things like that. I remember the times I used to perform in Kabwe. There was, I can't remember that place, but, they'll come and, perform. And I said, I think there's something about this young boy. And, but then there's always, as soon as you become a popular, then people must begin to dig about your negatives, and and then they develop hate. So whatever you do, they don't like it, even if it's good. So amongst the young ones, I think he's my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah,
and understandably so.
Yeah.
No, thank you so much for your time. Are you going to leave us with the proverb Muchiwemba or something, like a piece of advice?
Chilu, I'm so delighted that finally,
after a long
after a long, you know what we were trying to do together, but it's like that. I admire you. That's a fact, and sometimes. Some people have said that you actually look like me.
Oh yes.
You've heard that, right?
I should start checking this timeline of yours.
I never said that. I mean, it flows in the blood.
Yeah, it's you, Henry Nglazi, myself.
Yes, and Francis Ndovi. Yes. But I tell Francis Ndovi, you are too dark to look like me. So what's your problem? So the proverb I would like to leave you with is that firstly, it's one, I was reading one of these books, inspirational books, and I came across this statement which says, keep looking to the sun and you never see the shadow.
Oh.
Yeah. And I like to share that with a lot of people that come to me and they say, Uncle, this is what is happening to me. And I say, no, just focus.
Yes.
So, akanani kantu kalipabwaji. Meaning, it's what you have that you have to work with.
Yes.
You don't have to look outside and try to think someone is better than you. No. You are the best version of yourself. So just push that, focus, and go forward.
Thank you so much. What an honor. Thank you.
I also thank you so much. And
this is what we do at the PodHouse. So you're used to young conversations. This is Destro named it Rare Conversations. Until the next one, the legend, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm looking forward to is it chapter 2, chapter 3, or many more chapters coming?
No, totally. Yeah.
So we're here.
No, thank you so much. We're dropping the mic.
Yeah.